Well, hello, my friends. I am here with Sheila Hansen. She's the operations administrator, Trek Up the Tower race director, and we're talking about the Wellbeing Partners. So, Sheila, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me. Good to be here.
So, I have to say that this is one of my favorite events. I've done it many times. It's very challenging, but I like a challenge. And it's just a great there's so many pieces to this event that make it just really special and so unique. So let's just dive right in to Trek Up the Tower. But before we go there, let's just talk about the Wellbeing Partners for just a moment.
Absolutely.
And what is the organization? Kind of just give us an overview, and then we'll talk about Trek Up the Tower.
Perfect. Yeah. The Wellbeing Partners is a local nonprofit that works to build well-being into the way that our communities and businesses grow through advocacy, collaboration, and education. So our goal really is to work with businesses and work with community organizations to facilitate different well-being programs in their workplaces, in the communities, because we know that those community members make up those workplaces. Yeah. So we're really trying to bridge that gap.
Yeah. And I think, even now, I think more so than ever, having that well-being piece into any business, whether you're small or large, is so important for your employees and staff and team members, to just have that's a continual piece that we kind of we forget about that. And being a business owner and making sure that, hey, we've got things available for those working for us. It's just, it's so important. So thank you.
Absolutely. And it's so easy to forget that, that those aren't two separate things to worry about. It's becoming easier to remember now that so many of us are working from home or doing a hybrid work schedule, but still we can fall into that trap sometimes of I have my work and I have my home, and I think workplaces can fall into that trap of the things that their employees are dealing with at home. Don't impact their work, and it really does.
And then we just get busy. We're busy. We're just busy with work, and so what your organization does, I'm just so grateful for everything that you guys do. And one of the things is Trek Up the Tower. So let's talk about this. This has been going on for years. And give us the overview.
We have been going for 17 years now. Wow. In fact, this is our 17th year, started back in 2006. And, what a great way to get your workforce and your community connected. We have a ton of different teams, a bunch of organizations have employees that come together on a Saturday morning to walk up the First National Bank Tower. And it really is such a wonderful community and social event, as well as a physical well-being event. A vast majority of the participants are on some sort of team, whether that's a workplace team or just a group of friends or neighbors. I think it's somewhere around 75% of our participants are on some kind of team. So it is a really, really cool community building event.
Yeah. And this year it is on February 18th. Which is a Saturday, right? It's a Saturday. And I also want to say, last year virtual, or the year before, or the last 2 years?
Okay. Yep. We'd managed to get 2020 event in February before we all had to go home.
Yes.
But 2021 and 2022 were virtual. And so we are very, very glad to be back this year at the First National Bank Tower. Really excited to see everyone again in person. We do still have a virtual component this year, which is a little bit different because we had some folks, especially from corporations that have a bunch of remote workers now, may have people in other states who can't make the trip. And so starting on the day of the in-person event, February 18th through March 18th, they can have a virtual team going for a challenge and kind of involve those folks as well.
So remind me, how many steps are we?
It's 870.
Okay, 870. And again, I've done this several times, and it is a challenge, but it's just, again, it's a great challenge. And I know every year you have a different theme
We
which
do.
is always really fun. So what is this year's theme?
This year is Intergalactrek Journey. So it is space themed. It's super fun. We're really excited. Bozell did a great job with our design again this year. We're really excited to share it with everyone.
And if I recall correctly, I know in the past, I mean, I think participants, you get t-shirts, I mean, you get different things, but you're also, are people like encouraged to just kind of dress up?
Oh, absolutely. We love when people come in costume.
Yeah.
We're excited to see what everyone comes up with this year. I know in 2020, when we were back in person, it was video game themed. So we had a bunch of Marios running around. We had a couple Luigis. We had all kinds of different folks who dressed up. I know a lot of the teams like to get together and put together a team shirt that's something to do with the theme. And then, of course, all of our participants will get their event t-shirt that has the fun theming on it. And that has, several of them have shared with me that they have the t-shirts going back all 17 years. And it is a goal to pick up each new t-shirt.
Yeah, I guess I have not gone back all 17 years. I can't say that I've done that, but it's been the last maybe 5 or 6 years. And so I know, okay, so just kind of going from memory, I know that you sign up at different times. So there's times throughout, I can't remember, is it a 2 or 3 hour time span or maybe more than that, where you go in and register and then you pick a time?
Yes, so we kick off the event about 6:45 with our first responders, so our firefighters and policemen.
Yeah.
And then our general participants kick off at about 7. And then we are running every 15 minutes. There's a new check-in time until about 11 o'clock. So depending on how early you want to get up, there are options.
Exactly. And I think that's great because I completely forgot about that. Your first responders, those folks go up first, and it's literally, first of all, we do it and we honor them because that's what they have to do in their job. And
the firefighters generally go up in full gear, and it is a really, really cool thing to see them all. We kick off our event with them all down in the main lobby and do our announcements and our welcome and really honor them as they get ready to kick us off and make that run. And it's a fun thing for them too. They get competitive with the other departments, and it's a neat opportunity for them to show off their abilities in a really fun atmosphere.
And do you also have people, I mean, I know the few times, excuse me, that I've been there, that there are people that come out to this event that aren't the first responders, but they're there to like win.
Oh, yes.
And
we have
the fastest time.
Yes, we have some very competitive participants. I think the record time was set back in 2013, I believe. Okay. Ivan Marsh.
Yes.
Yep. He ran the 40 floors in 4 minutes and 15 seconds.
That is insane, because I will tell you, when I've done this in the past, it really is. And I also encourage people, it's not, if you want to go up quickly, A-okay. I would go up a few floors and then I would kind of stop and take a few deep breaths, and then I would go up some more and just really enjoy the journey up the trek, and knowing that, you're doing it for your well-being. And then also, is this raising funds? Tell me that piece. Is it raising funds or awareness or?
Yes, absolutely. I do just want to touch on the fact that you mentioned it is for people of all fitness levels. We have the folks who want to try to beat that record and who want to go for the vertical mile and run the tower multiple times. But then we have people who are just there for their own personal goals, who just want to say they did it, or just want to beat their personal time from the last couple of years, who take it slow and steady, stop at the water stations on the way up. It does not have to be a super competitive event if you don't want it to be. But yes, the goal of this event is to help raise funds for the Wellbeing Partners and to support our mission in building well-being into our businesses and community. It helps support a bunch of our different programming, like the project management we do with the medical respite program through Sienna Francis House and Charles Drew Health Center. It helps fund our mental health well-being campaign, What Makes Us, and a bunch of other like our parenting workshops for caregivers in the workplace. So it really does help promote all of our different well-being programming.
And I will say, people can go to your website, the Wellbeing Partners website, because there's so much information on everything that you do and how to get involved with what you do and how businesses can get involved in different levels of engagement. So there's a lot
Absolutely.
of
We're
great.
always willing to connect with anyone and help figure out how we can best partner. I mean, there's a reason partner is in our name. That's really what we're here to do. We want to work with organizations and work with businesses and figure out how best we can connect them to resources to fit into our programming of
Sure.
well-being.
So I'm going to ask you something. So how do you talk to people like training? I mean, should people train, or should, what? I'm just curious. Again, like you said, not doing a sprinting, but I know I actually went someplace and started walking up steps about a month before, just so I was used to walking up steps. But thoughts or ideas or on that?
Absolutely. I would say I would never discourage any amount of training that folks want to do. As you said, it is challenging. Walking stairs, and certainly walking that many stairs in succession, is not something we do on a day-to-day basis for the most part. And so any amount of walking or extra stairs that you can do in preparation is always going to be a good thing. But the nice thing about Trek is that it is sort of at your own personal pace. So if you haven't had a chance to do any extra training, it's not going to be the end of all things.
No, it's not. So, but I will say I did walk up. I think I just went to the gym and there were stairs going up and down from one level to the next. And so I spent a few times just going up and down the steps just to kind of get my legs a little used to that. But again, at your own pace. And then I will say, once you get to the top, you do take the elevator back down.
Yes.
You get to take the elevator back down. So
yes, you do get to take the elevator back down. There is an opportunity once you get to the 40th floor, you'll get your medal of completion for the event. We've got water up there, towels, so that you can, wipe the sweat off your brow. And then they are wonderful enough to set up a sort of cool down circle up on the 40th floor. So you have a chance to kind of reset, relax, and take in the view from the 40th floor, which is really impressive. I mean, you're 630 feet in the air above downtown Omaha. So it's nice to be able to take a moment, celebrate your achievement, and be able to look at that view.
Yeah. And one thing I will also mention too, just as I've done this in the past, everybody is so encouraging. I mean, people coming up, and whether you're passing them or they're passing you, there's this camaraderie and there's this encouragement from everybody. It truly is. It's just a great community event. So let's talk about registration and all that good stuff.
Yes, absolutely. And I love what you said about the community building, because it really is true. Even the folks who come out to run that vertical mile, who are going for that record, I have seen many of them stop and congratulate, everyone who's made it on their way up, whether it took them 10 minutes or 20. It's really is a great, like you said, community atmosphere, celebratory of your achievement, whatever level that may be. So if you want to join that community and register, we do have our website, trekupthetower.org, has all of the information about the event. The registration forms are all there for both participation, or if you're not quite ready to make that trek up that tower, we also encourage folks to volunteer to help out with the event. We always need more folks to hand out t-shirts, or work in the kitchen to hand out food, help run check-in or gear check, and be part of that atmosphere and be part of that celebration. If maybe you aren't quite ready to take that many steps. Or if you want to do both, we welcome that too. If you volunteer, you do get a discount to your registration if you would like to walk the event as well.
Well, Sheila, thank you so much for joining me today. A lot of information here, and again, go to the website. And I encourage you. I mean, I'm a slow goer, so I just took my time going up, and it was just such a wonderful experience. And again, when you get up at the top, you know, you've just accomplished something really fantastic. So thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. It's always great to talk to you and to talk about this event. Appreciate it.
All right, folks, go to the website, and I hope to see you there on February 18th. And we'll be right back.